So I figured that because I'd had to edit down the gameplay so much on the Viewmaster InteractiveVision review, because it's a 33-minute game, so I couldn't do that. That's longer than I wanted the episode to be, and the episode went on to 37 minutes anyway, so yeah. Because of that, I figured in case anyone wants to see the full gameplay, the full 33-minute VHS of Muppet's Madness, I would quickly throw that into a ReplayRetro Extended, and if you want to sit and watch that, you can watch that. If you don't, well, you don't need me to tell you that you don't have to. So yeah. If you haven't already watched it, probably go back and watch the Viewmaster InteractiveVision review first, so that you have an idea what's going on. Okay? So as you can tell, we are recording from the TV screen, so I apologise for that. However, the InteractiveVision is problematic to set up and run at the best of times, and the capture card really didn't get along with it, and especially because of the way mine is obviously modified. You have both a PAL and NTSC signal being output at the same time. It's just a case full of nightmares, and pointing a camera at the TV is the best option. We are going to do this a little bit differently to how I normally film gameplay sections. Instead of showing you 3 different games, what I'm actually going to do is play the Muppet's Madness game, which is the best of the 3 I've got, from start to finish, and then I'll edit that down so that you get to see a variety of the different kinds of gameplay that the InteractiveVision offers.
Now this elevator is going to take us direct to Muppet Labs for, as I said, the 3rd annual symposium on interesting interstellar interactive stuff. I think we're on our way. Incidentally, I don't think we've been introduced. I'm Kermit the Frog, and would you like to be Dr. Cough or Dr. Hiccup? Now press the red button if you'd like to be Dr. Cough, or
so we'll press the red button and be Dr. Cough.
Dr. Hiccup. Oh, nice to meet you, Dr. Cough.
Now you might notice there that there's a kind of static noise. That's because the game has switched to the secondary soundtrack. That's what makes me think it's some kind of frequency shift. You'll notice it a few times in a moment when, is it Bunsen? When he says Dr. Cough, it shifts again. There we go, that's the shift.
Scientific colleague, Dr. Cough. No, I said Dr. Cough.
Oh, sorry.
And obviously the reason Kermit hiccups there is because the video has to go with both. It has to be set up for the hiccup and the cough, for Dr. Hiccup or Dr. Cough.
That's right, Beaky Poo. We welcome you.
So the video obviously has to play the same every time and has to match up with both audio options. And they do a pretty good job of doing that, really.
Over here we have some eggs which look ordinary, but in fact, if you'll forgive the pun, are extraordinary.
Well, why is that?
Well, we'll just have Beaker take these over to that corner. Beaker, I want you to sit gently on this egg carton over in the corner.
Well, is he going to hatch them?
Exactly. You see, these are the all-new Muppet Labs instant eggs.
That's amazing. I wonder if those eggs are elephant eggs, duck eggs, or chicken eggs.
Dr. Cough, you have a good eye for this
Frequency shift again there.
Press the red button if you think they are chicken eggs, the yellow button if you think they are duck eggs, or the blue.
Now, as you can see, there are 2 wrong answers there. We'll go for the right answer, because the right answer will obviously be the only one that has a different audio track. There you go.
These are chicken eggs.
If you don't answer, or you give one of the wrong answers, it goes to the default audio track, which obviously says that you got it wrong. They're chicken eggs. You can see there are some yellow bars at the side of the screen at the minute. That is so that when you're fast forwarding or rewinding the tape, you know where to stop for an interactive section, so that you can skip forwards or backwards to one of the games.
You little science pioneer, you.
Well, gee, Dr.
Unfortunately, this first game doesn't work because of damage to the tape. The tape jumps at just the wrong moment, and it causes the console to lose sync. But you would be using a piece of sticky flypaper to catch the gnats and the flies that get released in a moment.
The blue Neptunian nibbling gnats and the red Venusian fighting fireflies.
I see, but don't push any of these buttons here like... Oh, I just pushed a button!
Oh, no!
I think there's just a little bit of damage on the tape that stops it working, unfortunately.
Please.
Oh, Dr. Honeydew, can't we do anything?
Yes! Get the nets! Get the flying flypaper!
Get the nets! Get the nets!
Hurry, hurry! Kermit Beaker and I will take care of the yellow Samoan tipple, please. And you, Doctor, please catch the red and blue bugs.
There you go, there was the jump that did it, and you can see to the left and right of the screen there, you can see the visible data portions. That's because the console has lost sync, those sections are now visible again. Whereas when the console has sync with the video footage, it will put a black mask over those sections so that the player can't see them.
Catch all the bugs. Start now, and if it helps, make a silly face too. Oh, I so dislike these Neptunian nibbling gnats. And these Venusian fireflies really sting. Oh,
sorry, Doc. Listen, from a frog point of view, these things look kind of tasty.
Yes, that's right, Peter. It is fun to say their name. Let's all try it. Red Venusian fighting fireflies. Red Venusian fighting fireflies. Red Venusian fighting fireflies. Red Venusian fighting...
Keep going out there. Help us catch the bugs. They do move rather strangely, though.
Keep going. Get that flypaper moving. Oh no! Don't have you there, Beaker.
What's that big machine he's getting it from there?
Oh dear, it's the Muppet Lab laundry permanent press machine. We haven't had a chance to test it.
Oh, what does it do?
Well, it presses your clothes while you're wearing them. Quite a scientific breakthrough, don't you agree?
Oh, yeah, but what about these bugs?
Oh dear, those bugs are still here.
Look at that, Dr. Hiccup. That's how many you caught. Oh, now all the bugs are gone. Beaker must have done something.
Oh, Beaker. Don't your clothes look nice and wrinkle-free? Well, you may be right. It does still have a few problems. Oh well, back to the old ironing board. The drawing board. Drawing board.
You're looking thinner too, Beaker. Well, tell me, Dr. Honeydew, what else can we do with the interesting interstellar interactive device there?
Well, with some help from our friend here, we can launch a trained lab assistant off a cliff in a jet rocket suit.
Well, who'd be foolish enough to fly off a cliff?
All set, Dr. H.
I should have known.
And now, fellow scientist type, get your interesting interstellar interactive device ready and listen for your important role in scientific history. Thank you.
Now this one is a more obvious use of the tech,
Latest invention, you are
because it simply hides the video. You don't see any video of what happens regardless of what button you press. You just hear a little bit of audio.
will fly through the air.
Again, there's those yellow bars.
17 miles per hour. Stop in mid-flight and change course as you, the audience, direct me. Understand? Well, neither do I. But that never stopped me before. All right, here goes. In 5, 4, 6. What? 7. Oh, not ready! Minor technical problem. Now you, the audience, decide. Should I circle around that blimp over there, or should I buzz that sailboat in the harbor? Make your choice now. Press the red button for the blimp, or the blue button for the sailboat.
So let's go for the sailboat, so we'll press the blue button.
Wow! Ahoy, sailboat!
There you go, so he's going to the sailboat. get away from the mast, so you know he's flying around a sailboat, but obviously we don't see anything because we're not able to change video. It's a simple trick, but it works. It provides a little bit of interactivity.
Clearly you can see the myriad uses of the interstellar interactive device.
Well, it sure seems great for deciding things.
Aha, but it is also perfect for those times when you can't make up your mind. What if there were, say 2 shows you wanted to see on television at the same time?
Then the interstellar interactive device could help.
This is one of the cooler ones. This uses overlaid graphics to mask bits of the video. I think this is really a good way of doing it.
2 delightful programs. The gripping Our Turning World and the ever-popular Space Quest.
Wow. Well, what do we have to do?
Just keep the interstellar interactive device in your hand as you watch. Press the blue button to view the soap opera and the red button to view the outer space adventure. While you're watching, you can change your mind as much as you'd like. Are you ready to begin?
I can't decide.
Perfect! Remember, press the blue button for the soap opera and the red button for the space adventure.
Now you'll notice that this one uses overlaid graphics, so the TV screen there is an overlaid graphic, and yes, it is in black and white. It shouldn't be in black and white. That is entirely because of the way this system is modified and outputting its video, but I'm sure you understand that the overlaid graphics would normally be colour. Now this is quite a cool little trick it's doing. Again, the video that's playing is playing exactly the same no matter what you do, but you can switch between this soap opera displayed in a TV or a space program displayed in a kind of spacey background.
We learned that a fleet of dwarf warships was closing in on the Cronin plots.
And the video feed is designed to fit both the space storyline and the soap opera storyline.
What's wrong, Gloria?
I'm worried about the globe.
Timmy? What is it?
See, she wasn't worried about the globe, she was worried about Timmy.
Timmy's our son.
Oh, that Timmy. What's he up to this time?
Oh, Captain, what are we going to do?
Don't worry, with a crew like this, a ship like ours...
And it's daft, but it's actually quite clever when you really think about it, that they've not only made a piece of video that fits both themes, but managed to keep the storyline similar enough but different enough that it works.
Those little dishes to do?
See you later, folks. I've got to abandon ship. Honey, someone's at the door.
Come in, it's open.
It's our crazy neighbors, Larry and Jerry Kornichek.
But how do you explain why they've got astronaut helmets on?
Costume party.
Yeah,
Ah, costume party, of course.
balls on their heads.
Come on, Dorfer, bandit.
What was that?
It came from the engines.
It's a dildo.
What happened?
I don't know, Dad. I was washing the dishes when the sink just blew up. What were you using to wash the dishes? Just this.
Why, that's not dish soap. That's the nitroglycerin I was saving for the 4th of July.
Join us next time when we answer the burning question, where is Rex, the Wonder Dog?
I just love a happy ending, don't you, Mr. Kermit?
Well, I can't decide.
Another success.
You know, this has all been very interesting, Doctor, but tell me, are there any more important applications of this device?
Well, perhaps you'd like to see the latest development in the Muppet space program.
The Muppet space program?
Yes, indeedy. And if we can locate my assistant, Beaker, I can show you our latest spacecraft. Beaker! Yoo-hoo! Beaker.
You say Muppet Labs has perfected a spacecraft?
We certainly have. Oh, there you are, Beaker. Now, Beaker, what are you doing with that lampshade on your head? Psst, most amusing. And they say men of science have no sense of humor. All right, this way, everybody. Come along. Come, Beaky. Lab's state-of-the-art spacecraft, the Honeydew 6.
Oh, what happened to the first 5?
Beaker. Now, Beaker, Mr. Kermit is anxious to see the experiment. Come along and step up into the precision command seat. Come on, up you go, boy. That's good. Now, if you run into any problems, just honk the goose horn. I assure you, it's perfectly safe. Of course, I'm sure. Have I ever led you astray?
Dr. Honeydew, that's a very unusual seatbelt configuration there.
Well, actually, in the past, we have had some problems with the pilot accidentally exiting before takeoff. This new belt should take care of that.
Dr. Honeydew, I don't see any controls.
That's right, Mr. Kermit. Dr. Cough out there has the controls.
You do?
Yep. Now, here's what I want you to do. Press the blue button to lower the galvanized cloud-proof shield. Go on, press the blue button. Marvelous. Now let me prepare for blastoff.
Things get a little bit more recognisably gamey here.
Good. Now then, we're ready for liftoff. To launch Beaker, Doctor, press the red button.
Now, of course, whether we press it or not, he will launch, but let's just press it.
Great day for Muppet Land.
Obviously, if we didn't press it, it'd just go, oh, I'll launch him anyway, or maybe it would do a fault or something like that, but it would launch and the audio would make sure the launch was explained.
By the way, Dr. Honeydew, where are you sending him?
To the moon, Mr. Kermit, and we're going to need your help, Dr. Cough. Beaker seems to be caught in a space maze. Use your joystick to steer Beaker through the maze to the moon.
So as you can tell, this is going to be a lot more like a game. We've actually got to pilot Beaker's ship.
Dr. Honeydew, what
Again, the overlaid graphics will be in black and white.
Our friend the doctor has to get him to the moon before Beaker's fuel runs out. Otherwise,
One thing that is quite cool about this particular game is when Beaker's ship gets hit by a meteorite,
it's full.
the audio track changes to be Beaker making a panicky noise, which is quite cool. So you see we have to fly through here. There you go, Beaker's panicking because we've crashed. There you go. So that's quite cool that the audio is even reacting to this. We have to press the green button to get past the meteors, and the green button is really stiff, so it doesn't exactly help, and you can only reach the moon when it's full. So now we've got to stay next to the moon for a while until it gets full. No! Come on, Beaker! Running out of fuel, Beaker. We can do this. We didn't make it this time, unfortunately.
Oh, what a pity, Doctor. You didn't get there in time.
Unfortunately, Beaker...
Now you can see that the bottom half of the screen is currently masked using overlaid graphics, and we can see Beaker at the top there sinking into the mud. However, if we'd won, the image of Beaker sinking at the top would have been covered with a nice space scene, while at the bottom we'd be able to see Beaker planting his flag in the surface of the moon. So it's pretty clever, really. It's using the overlaid graphics to hide pieces of the video to show you either a win animation or a lose animation. That way they can use live action footage for both scenarios and just mask the areas of the screen that they don't want you to see. Theoretically, you could do that for multiple video feeds on the screen, so something like Night Trap's CCTV, you could just have the cameras that you're not looking at covered up.
Oh, hi, I didn't see it. Hey, speaking of...
And obviously when you select a particular camera, it would just uncover that one and cover another one up.
Girlfriend say to him, give up. I'm sorry, she said. I can't see you anymore. Waka waka.
I get it. Now, could both of you please stand over the trap door here?
What?
Come
What,
on.
ma'am?
Well, what is this experiment about, Dr. Honeydew?
Well, we call it the Muppet Labs Adventurama. It's the entertainment of the future. It's just like living your favorite adventure movie.
How does it work?
Well, the two of you and you will embark on an adventure. You'll meet a damsel in distress, and you must solve her problem.
Well, that kind of sounds like fun, don't you think, Fozzie?
Yeah, but Kermit, I just have one question here.
What's that?
Did he say trap door?
You've got to love a little bit of Jim Henson
All
work.
right?
What did you say?
Nothing.
Oh, wow, like, thank you.
So here we find Kermit and Fozzie transported to an adventure game.
Wait a minute. You didn't say anything. Whoa.
And maybe you can free me, the beautiful Princess Gloria, from the evil Dr. Achu.
You know, Princess Gloria looks an awful lot like
No, man.
the son, Timmy, from the soap opera earlier on.
Do you believe this?
Who is Dr. Achu?
Gesundheit.
Oh, like he's a real bad guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, how can we get out of here, beautiful Princess Gloria?
Well, I've been waiting for Dr. Cough. Oh, there you are. Oh, you really got to help us, Doctor. There's only one way out of here. Along the way, you've got to find the eggs of power.
So those yellow barriers again. So this is where we would move the tape to if we wanted to play this game again.
He's just so weird. If you can find enough eggs, then we'll be free.
Well, now, how does my friend find these eggs of power?
Achoo!
Well, why would he help us? He's evil.
Like, no, I just sneezed.
Oh.
It's like really simple. The eggs of power.
I don't care what anyone says. The Muppets are funny.
Chicken-shaped objects, like that stone carving up there. Some chickens have eggs, some don't. Oh, look, there's the extractor.
So you can see I'm controlling the extractor, and if I go over the chicken-shaped objects, there you go, I can collect eggs. It'll only let you get one egg from each, and some chickens won't contain any.
Okay. Yeah.
Ah, you did
Yeah,
it.
we already got it.
You did it, Doc. You got the practice egg.
Well, now, tell me, Your Highness, where are these eggs of power?
This way. We'll just follow the sign.
So we now have to collect up the eggs while the video plays.
And now the
So again,
game
this is
really
because-
begins.
Now there are eggs behind some of these chicken-shaped objects and not behind others, and you're going to have to figure that out.
Boy, I hope our friend can find enough.
Okay, it looks like that's all the eggs off this screen. Have we missed any?
Yeah, or the yolk will be on us.
Oh.
Hey, Kermit, we're not really stealing these eggs, are we?
No, Fozzie, why?
Well, because if we were, then we'd be egg poachers.
You can see the actual egg scoreboard there is part of the video.
Boy, this
The 4 eggs that are on it are part of the overlaid
sounds
graphics.
like a real hard-boiled guy.
Yeah, Fozzie, would you cut that out?
Sorry, Kermit.
I think the positions of the eggs of power do actually change on each game as well. Because I think I've had it before where there was none on the right-hand side of this part. Obviously it can only put them where there are chickens, but it can change which chickens have eggs and which ones don't. So the game won't play the same every time. It'll play very similar every time, but still.
Oh, Fozzie, look. I think we're at the lair of the evil Dr. Achu.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Oh, look! The lair of the evil Dr. Achu!
Gesundheit.
Kermit, we're doomed!
Fozzie, don't say that.
That's the last one, we got them.
You are doomed!
Oh, like there's the last chicken. Nice work, Doc. You got them all. Our chances are good for beating the evil Dr. Achu.
And again, obviously if we hadn't got them all, we'd get different audio.
Oh, look! That must be the evil Dr. Achu!
Gesundheit.
That's right, my fine furry frizzy bear.
So it was you all the time. You're the evil Dr. Achu.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
But you figured it out a little too late, Frog. Now I've got you.
Gesundheit.
What are you gonna do with us?
Enough zaps for my transporter ray, and bingo, you'll be...
No!
Yes, I'll send you to Machu Picchu.
Gesundheit. Gesundheit. The only things that can save us are the eggs of power. I hope we have enough. Now, before the evil doctor fires his ray gun, you move the joystick to cover the gun with the egg. Then press the green button to throw the eggs at him, okay? Now you have to fire just before he pulls the trigger. The game starts now.
There you go, so we got him, you saw the egg crack. There is actually only a really small window of opportunity. I know I'm probably making this look quite easy, but it's because I've played this quite a lot while experimenting with it and trying to make it work. Although I've never got quite this well. There you go, I missed one, you saw it bounce off the gun. For each hit or miss, there is a different sound that matches. So either him celebrating you missing, like this, or him being annoyed that you hit. Again, you can see here that Kermit and Fozzie are talking at the top about how we won, and in the bottom right corner of the screen, you would have Dr. Achu talking about how he won and we lost, but obviously that has been covered by the bit of the screen that is the scoreboard.
You were going up to the pool?
Yeah.
Well, how did you like
So obviously the video of the win and the video of the loss outcome are both playing at the same time,
I know you and your
and it's just that obviously if you win, it plays the win audio and covers the lose bit of the screen, and if you lose, it plays the lose audio and covers the win bit of the screen.
known as a brain transplant.
A really simple use of the tech, but a really effective use of the tech.
And they say the layman is ignorant of science. Now, if you'll follow me, I'll show you how my new invention takes all the fuss and muss out of the common brain transplant. If you would kindly be seated in the machine, I will be happy to demonstrate.
Gee, you know, I'm not so sure this is a good idea.
Well, if you can't decide...
Here's an example of something interesting.
Press the red button if you would like to see the machine demonstrated on Mr. Frog here. And press the blue button if you would not.
Now we know it's going to be Beaker anyway, but I'll press red to say I want it on Kermit.
I don't think there's any need because the red button was pushed. So you must sit, Mr. Frog.
Well, listen, I'm very sorry to overrule you, Doctor, but no dice. I'm a frog, not a guinea pig.
So there you go. Because the video can't
Well,
show
perhaps
Kermit
you
getting
can
in the
use my
seat,
assistant, Beaker.
it just shows him copping out instead, so Beaker has to get in. And obviously if we'd selected Beaker, then the audio of Kermit talking to us would have been him thanking us for not trying to get him in the seat.
Isn't that lovely? And sit down in the chair.
Poor old Beaker can't really protest.
Good. And here is where you come in, honored colleague. Beaker is totally in your hands because, based on your decision, the device you now hold in your hand will completely change his brain.
It will?
That's right. When I give the signal, press the red button if you would like to give Beaker the brain of a bowling ball,
A bowling ball?
or press the blue button if you would like to give him the brain of a chainsaw.
A chainsaw?
Are you ready?
I vote
Activate
chainsaw.
machine. Press a button. Hold on to your hats. Oh, isn't
Because then maybe Beaker can finally get some revenge for all this abuse.
What a pity. It doesn't seem to have activated.
Well, Doc, maybe you blew a fuse in the basement or something.
Well, never mind. There are countless thousands of other experiments here at Muppet Labs.
About how many?
Again, it's a cheap and easy effect, just playing either the sound of a bowling ball or the sound of a chainsaw when Beaker opens his mouth. But hey, it works.
But Mr. Stopper, that is not the way it was at all. I have never been funnier.
Well, you're close, Bear. You've never been funny.
My word, what have we here?
Oh, there's the frog. He was there. Let's ask him.
Oh, yeah. Hey, come on. You saw my act last night. I was really funny, wasn't I?
Well, you were, sort of...
I think my machine can help here.
It can.
Yes, indeedy. Through the magic of technology, we will now take you press the blue button. You can change your mind as often as you wish.
So just like previous ones, all we're going to be using here is the red and blue buttons to change audio track. One to see Fozzie Bear's optimistic interpretation of his comedy performance, and another one to listen to what Waldorf and Statler thought.
On the way to the theater, a man said to me, "Did you take a shower this morning?" I said, "No, is one missing?"
Speaking of showers, that took all wet. Terrible!
Okay,
let's be nice to Fozzie. Let's say everyone likes his next joke.
Borrowed your compact car. Simple. Check the ashtray for peanut shells.
He calls that an elephant joke? He should have left that one in the trunk.
Say, did I tell you about my cousin Clyde? He bought a brand new car, and before he had it a week, it was completely destroyed by a weasel. That's right. He stopped on a railroad track, and he didn't hear the weasel.
So it's quite easy to re-script Waldorf and Statler because all they really ever do is shout.
What did I tell you?
So whether they're shouting abuse or shouting with laughter, it's kind of the same thing.
So again, and now it's your turn to decide if I should check out that bell tower or the snow tire factory. Press the red button for the tower or the blue button for the factory.
Well, it's got to be the factory, because how the hell do you represent a snow tyre factory in audio?
This time you show me. Wow! Oh, it's a bit
Oh, Dr. Honeydew, you know, Dr. Cough, and I would like to thank you very much for our tour. I think I'm speaking for both of us when I say it certainly was, something.
Oh, why, it was our pleasure having you here.
You know, Dr. Honeydew, I think I figured this interactive stuff out, and so it's my turn to show you something. Now, if you want to hear what I think, press the red button.
And if you want to hear what yours truly thinks, press the blue button.
Kermit.
Okay, everybody, come on up, big party time!
I believe both Muppets games end with a song.
Kermit, tell us true. Was this game fun for you?
Well, it sure turned out to be so much fun for me. Everything was
But you can hear the other one.
Terrible.
So Gonzo is singing Everything Was Terrible,
Was terrible.
whereas Kermit is singing that everything was wonderful.
well, almost kind of great.
You see, science made it come true.
With a tasty snack that
Everything was wonderful.
Back to Gonzo.
Everything was wonderful.
There you go, Wonderful.
Gee, Gonzo, it sounds like you didn't have a terrific time.
Terrible. I just missed crashing into a blimp and exploding.
Gee, that's awful.
Yeah, next time I'll aim better. Everything was wonderful.
There you go, you see.
Now it's time to go, but that won't stop the show.
So you can see there is a mixture of basic audio stuff like this song and more complicated graphic overlay things like the battle with Dr. Achoo. So really the tape has a good mix of games on it. And you can see a good idea of what the machine is capable of. And I'm sure you can imagine plenty of other ways that that can be used to create interesting gameplay.